Hey guys, let's see if it's going. Happy Magic Monday. Oh, here comes Baba to tell me hello. Hi Baba, I know. What do you need? Yeah. Come on, move Baba. Come on, get down. Good boy, good boy. There we go. All right. So, hi, happy Magic Monday, guys. I want to show you Ready to Ride is our card for today. It's a Cars inspired card. I wanted to show you the paper. I've got this little sampler here. Here's the number for the Ready to Ride paper. I know it's motorcycle inspired, but I also had some cool ideas of how it would really apply to cars. I just kept thinking about, I don't know, cars, and I'll show you why in a second. So it's a specialty paper. If you look at the shine, there we go. You see, so it's got like a 3D embossed style to each of it. And this is like that texture that they have for your feet, you know, so you don't slip. And so the same thing with this. The checker has an embossing style, the roses too, the wrenches, and the tires, which I love this tire one so much. And then the B-sides, I did the Mexican restaurant with this one. You could also do a little diner, stuff like that. I'm using a piece of this, which reminded me of Cars. This is the first thing that reminded me of Cars. I kind of wish this said Route 66, but it says 46, but that's okay. I don't know. I just wanted to say Route 66 because it's Cars inspired. So you can use a variety of things. These are all motorcycle inspired parts, so I didn't use that side. I really just wanted to focus on the parts that were connected to our, you know, things that would be connected to cars. So there is this giant sheet in the kit, or in the pack of paper, and it has these pieces right here in the corner. So on the back of this paper is like a lug nuts, or yeah, lug nuts. And so this piece, or this piece and this piece are the other parts. I wasn't really sure what to do with this huge piece of paper, but I decided, I was like, I really want to use this landscape. It reminded me so much of like the scenes from Cars, you know, when they've got the landscape road in the back. I posted a couple pictures of it here on my Facebook page, and so you guys have seen a couple of the pages. So don't forget, here's the item number if you guys want to order anything for it. So I'm using that. We're making a cute card. So we're using this piece and this piece. It was a little trick. We're making a pocket card, which is even cooler. And so we're going to need this piece. And I'll show you how I cut that. Yeah, we're making like a little pocket card. Not like we are. And I think that is everything that we needed. Oh, and there's the sample. I was like, where's the sample? I set it aside. So how cute is this little pocket card? It's a little different than the traditional pocket card where it's centered, because I really wanted this Polaroid look to be the feature. So even though it's not centered in a border, I like that it's still centered here on the card. And you would write on the back with the write on, it's your birthday. Sorry, I'm a little too far up from the camera. I just thought this was a fun take on Cars, because, especially because of this landscape. I don't know, to me, this was screaming Cars. I might, hey. I might grab add an embellishment or something. I'm debating on that right now. So we'll see if I wind up adding an embellishment in a minute. But yeah, so this is our card for today. Super cute. I just loved this landscape. My friend Candy did a card with just this, and she made it very masculine and, you know, very, you know, guy style. And I don't know, I thought I'm going to do the same thing, but a little change up. Oh, and where's my designer series paper? I cut the designer series paper. Maybe I put it back. Maybe I put it back in the package. Hang on. I can cut some more, but okay, there's one piece. Yeah, I put the pieces, I think, back in here. Sorry. I know I cut enough pieces of that brown. Let's make sure this is big enough. Yeah, that's it. Maybe I put the other one in here. I have to do another video with it, so I want to make sure. So here's the deal. To get this piece, okay, so let's start with the basic layers, then I'll show you the tricky piece. Okay, so this is a standard layer. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is like just a backing. And this is pumpkin pie. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4, you know, my normal layers. And this piece is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, that's to get the basic layers. And I loved the orange because I always think of the orange cones when I think of Cars. Cars is not a bad movie. It just wasn't like my favorite movie. I know some people just love it and think it's the best ever, but I don't know. I just didn't love it as much as others. It was funny. I liked it. I'm just not crazy in love with it like other people are. And so I just thought it was super fun. Now, granted, this is not your traditional, there's no car on here, but it's just the street signs. And if you've ever been to Cars Land in Disneyland or Disney World, you'll see, I don't know if they have a Cars Land in Disney World. I think they do, but I'm not quite sure. I know in Disneyland or California Adventure, they have a Cars Land, and it's cool. Okay, so we've got our standard layer here. Then we're gonna need to make our pocket. To make the pocket, it looks very simple, right? Because you've got the triangle layered inside this triangle. Easy peasy, right? The problem is, in order to get it layered that perfectly, what you have to do is you have to make a square first. So this big gray square is 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. Okay, so I literally, I'm gonna put my triangle, like I'm gonna put one corner in the line here and another corner in the line. Excuse me, I should have brought my water over. Okay, I'm gonna put it up a little higher because I know it'll hold it there a little better. I just got to get those corners perfectly aligned, and you can keep messing with them there. There we go. Now I've got them perfectly aligned, and I'm going to cut my angle. You're going to do the same thing with this. This is 3 inches, 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 for the tire piece. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to get, I'm actually going to turn it over because I can see the orange. It's a little hard for me to see the black point against the dark brown. So I'm going to look at the orange instead. And put the point on each side. Excuse me, guys. It's like hairball or something. Okay, so there we go. Now I've got my perfect layer. I have tried to cut these triangles in different ways. I can never get it proportionate unless I do a square first. And I'm sure there's some math geek that knows why, but I'm just telling you, that's the deal when it comes to. So I have an extra piece here, so I'm gonna have to make another pocket card. That's, you know, because I'll have an extra piece, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. You know, it's waste not, want not, you know, I won't waste it. So then in order to get my little tag, I got to glue it down. It's not a really hard card. It looks really complicated, but it's not that complicated. And so I went ahead and I put my little tire piece layered on my triangle. And I made sure to have this triangle match this back layer. It looks a little funny when it's not matching, in my opinion. But again, you do what you want to do. I'm always happy when people have different ideas. Okay, so then I'm going to take my tear-in tape. And because I've made this such a thick card, I tried dimensionals, they were too big, and it was a little tricky. So if you see from the side, you see how there's like a decent, it's not a huge gap, but you see how there's a gap in the paper? I mean, oh, I don't know if you can see it. It's definitely thick. You see that gap? I mean, that's a large enough gap where you can't just put white glue on the edge here. Okay? So that's why I got the tear-in tape out. Because one, I made my my triangle, my card a little thick. So I'm going to start right here at this gas pump and go to the corner. I'm just measuring from the imagery, the corner of the pumpkin, and let me see where my other one goes. To the gas pump on the other side here too. I didn't want to put too much glue, but I wanted it to definitely be, whoa, no. But I want it to be strong enough to hold. So you kind of need it against the brown. Otherwise, it's not gonna hold. Let me make sure. Yeah. Oh, pulling it up. Come on, there we go. And then I just line up. So there's still going to be a little gap on the edges, but the card is not going to fall out. The little mini card is not going to fall out. It's going to stay. And I'm just going to make sure I get that nice and press down. And that way my card can still go in there, but my little pocket's not going to pop off. Now, it was a little tricky to get this piece. So when I first cut this piece, just cut across this line here. Make it easy on yourself. And just make different card fronts out of these other pieces, okay? So I just cut across, and I happen to have that little fiery piece and this Polaroid piece. Well, I cut down the Polaroid. When I cut the Polaroid, I had to cut it on two sides. So it's only 3 inches wide now, and it's 4.5 inches long. But it started out at, I think, 5 inches long or something like that. It's much bigger, and so then it should be. You see, like, look at how, you see how I trimmed? If you look here at this, I trimmed 1/4 inch off the top, and I trimmed 1/4 inch off the bottom to get it short enough. I wanted it just a little bit shorter, and that's what I had to do. So that makes it 4.5 inches long by 3 inches wide. So that means this is 3.25 inches wide by 4 3/4 long. And so I'm just going to glue this right down against my, this is Early Espresso cardstock. I hope you guys are having a good Monday. Thanks for watching. I'm always really grateful. Then, before I stamp, I decided to use, I had a couple options for my stamp. I decided to use the birthday because to me it just felt a classic authentic you. I was debating. I kind of wanted to use the legendary, but I don't know. I just thought the birthday one was a good, drive, technically I should say drive on, but you guys get the point, And I am going to stamp that on the bottom of my paper because I'm going to stamp it on the bottom. Because when I did it on the other card, I was off center and crooked, and it was easier to align with the bottom end here than it was to align with the center. And I'll show you what I mean. Let me move this aside here for a second. So it's a little too far to the left, and it's a tiny bit crooked, but you can't tell now because what I did was I added the extra black flame to offset any crooked look. So whenever you have a crooked sentiment, try to grab something else that's from the stamp set and, you know, put it in the corners. Like I'll do that at Halloween where I'll put a bat or something in the corner or a pumpkin, and it kind of just throws off the eye so that you can't tell that your sentiment was crooked. So just a trick. And so I still wanted to have my image that way. Okay. And so now I'm not going to stamp the flame on this one because it looks good. I am going to stamp it on my envelope though. This card is super easy today, you guys. It was super hard for me to design at first. I had to keep going around and around with what I was going to do. Oops, let me make sure it's up right. Yeah. Okay. I had to go around and around to decide what I was going to design. But when I finally got there and got it going, it was good. When the going gets good. Okay. So that is my card. And then I'm going to grab some embellishments, see, and look at, and because I put the tear and tape in just the right spot, you see how it keeps it even on the sides here? To me, it reminds me of cars. I don't know if you guys think it reminds you of cars, but in my opinion, it reminds me of Disney cars. But, you know, we can all have different opinions. I have these cool embellishments that go with this set, but I don't know, none of them seem, I kind of could put one here to add a little more black. You know, they always say, my grandmother used to always say, don't gild the lily. And what am I doing? Gilding the lily. Ooh, I also have these cool little diamonds. I think I might add a couple diamonds right here. On top of this little piece of tape. I don't know if I want 3 diamonds or if I want diamond in a circle or something. Let me add a circle. It's like a little stud. Let's see, how does that look? I kind of like that. Just adds a little something, just a little something extra to the top, but not too much. That looks cute. I like that. So I didn't realize these diamonds were inside. Whoa, wayward diamond. I hope you guys are having a good Monday. So I'm putting one at the top and one off to the other corner. So in the top and the bottom, top right and bottom left corners, and then putting the stud in the center. I don't know, I think it just adds a little something. Oops, it came off, so I guess we're leaving that one. There we go. Just adds a little something to it. I didn't want it straight. I kind of like that it's off center. I didn't really want it totally straight. I kind of like that. So yeah, so there's our embellishments. That's it. Oh, I'm going to stamp the envelope. And these embellishments are called the adhesive back studs. So they're actually really cool. I like the silver ones. I didn't use any on this card because I feel like they're a little too shiny for the basic gray, but they are cute. Oh, come on. Of course I can't get it. Oh my gosh. I'm tearing the little envelope. There we go. There we go. All right, so for my envelope, I just wanted to stamp a little flame. Because it's fun and you can stamp a little flame there. And then I'm going to stamp a little flame in the corner. And that's it. Nothing else. That's all. One and done. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too wild. Just a basic little card. So, and a good card. I like it. Okay, so there is our envelope to go with our little card. Like I said, this one has the flame because it was off center. So there you go. And I like that this one's on the, and then I still have room to write something like, hope it's a good birthday or something like that. I kind of like having that at the bottom like that. It gives me a little more room to write. There you go. There is our card. That's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Pretty easy card. But I don't know, to me, I thought this little image reminded me a lot of that one where you see the road off in the distance in cars. They do it, you can see it in a lot of the pictures I posted, how they have this nice little distance. So there you go. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a good rest of your magical Monday. And I will see you guys on Friday. Actually, I'm going to try doing a video on Wednesday, or maybe tomorrow actually, of some paper pumpkin alternatives. So tune in for that. All right, have a great day. All right, bye.